Welcome to section 10.2. 10.2's focus is on the parabola. And so I thought we'd get going by looking at a few questions together, and they're in the same group. They're number 22, 26, and 32. And all of them rely upon building the equation of the parabola. And so what we have, it's typed out at the bottom of page 636, is the general form of the parabola. This would respect the fact of having a center different than 0, 0. There's other forms in there that are mentioned on page 635, as you probably read and hopefully have read. But this is the one that I'd like us to just be familiar with, as it's the one that will help us out in every situation. So if we look at 10.2, number 22, what they're telling us is in number 22 that we have a focus at negative 4, 0, and we have a vertex at 0, 0. And so we want to just be able to build the equation of the parabola, and that's not hard at all. So there's a few things that we want to know. I think drawing a picture can always help. So the vertex is at 0, 0, and it has a focus point. Remember what the focus point is. That's the point, as you read about, that's right in the center of the parabola. So at negative 4, 0, we have a focus point. And so we know something about that then. We know right now that this parabola is opening to the left, which means that our a value is going to be negative. And so we're going to have a negative value for the a because it's opening to the left. We also know that it is a y-squared equation. So right away, I know that it's not a function. Take a look at it. It's definitely not a function. So the y value is being squared. That's one of the reasons why we had you do that way back when. Is equal to 4 times some negative number times x, right? Because both, if the vertex is 0, 0, remember what the vertex is. It's h comma k. And so we have this as our general form of the parabola, or standard form. I don't know what they call it. They want us to find the equation of the parabola described. So notice we're given 2 points. We'll be able to figure that out. Well, hopefully you've read that a is the distance. They'll probably show it. But a is the distance. Yeah, you could see it at the top of page 637 from the vertex to the focus point. And so we know that that's 4 because it takes 4 units to travel from 0, 0 to negative 4, 0. So a is negative 4. The negative nature because it was opening to the left. And so what's the end equation? Y squared is equal to negative 16x. That should help supplement some of those examples that you had. Let's take a look and see if much different in 26. It doesn't matter what 2 pieces of information they give us, but they need to give us 2 pieces of information. And so let's see what they give us here. They give us the directrix line, right? So the directrix. They're telling us that the directrix line is x equals negative 1/2. And the vertex is still at 0, 0. I would draw it, right? You might think I'm crazy, but I would totally draw it. And so 0, 0 is our vertex. The directrix is the line x equals negative 1/2. That's right back here. And so our parabola has to be opening up to the right. Because remember, the directrix is the line that sits behind the parabola. It doesn't intersect it. And so what do we know? Well, because it's not a function, we know it's a y-squared equation. We know that there's nothing being subtracted from the y because the vertex is 0, 0. We know that the distance from the vertex to the directrix line, or the vertex to the focus, is always a, and a in this case is 1/2. That's what our a is. And so we know that the general form up here is that it's 4a. Well, 4, and for emphasis, I'll put 1/2 in there, and it's just going to be an x. So now we have y squared is equal to 2x, and that should match the answer in the back of the book, and it does. The last example that I want to do in this set is number 32. They're all very related to one another. This time it gives us a vertex different than 0, 0, which is awesome. The vertex is 3, 0. The focus The focus point is at 3, -2. So let's draw it. Any question that you have can be answered if you draw the picture. So let's go find our vertex. 1, 2, 3, 0. And our focus is at 3, -2. Well, 3, -2 is down here. So what's my parabola doing? Well, it's opening down. Well, that's a function. And so since it's a function, I know it's the x that's being squared. And it's x minus the given x coordinate squared is equal to 4a times y minus the y coordinate. Right? That's our guy. So I got x minus 3 squared is equal to 4a times y. So the question is, well, what's a? A is always the distance between the vertex and the focus point, or the vertex and the directrix. And we can see that that's a distance of 2. Now, we're going in the downward direction. Remember, this parabola is opening up down. So that's how we incorporate the negative sign. So this is x minus 3 squared is equal to 4 times -2 y, or x minus 3 squared is equal to -8y. And that is the form that they have in the back of the book. So they're trying to match this form, the one that's up here, of the parabola every time, so that we can easily get some key pieces of information. There's other things that they may ask for, but it looks like they're asking just for the vertex, focus, and directrix each time. And so here they're giving us that information, wanting us to build the equation. And the other examples that we'll do, we'll have the equation and we'll get this information off pretty easily.